Yo, what can I get you?
I'm just waiting for someone.
Ah, I see. So is this someone, a person who's going to come here and pay for your drinks then?
Look, I'm just here to meet someone. You don't have to give me a hard time.
Aw, looking for love. How sweet. Well, carry on, little spider. Carry on. I'm sure your next victim will be along shortly.
Hey man, check out that chick over there at the bar. I think that's the one that went out with Stein a few times. They were here back when we were. You remember, a couple of weeks back. I think they got into a shouting match at the bar. I think Stein dumped her right after that.
Damn, dude. I had some beers and shots. So I think I'm gonna go say hi. She's pretty built.
Alright man, just be careful. She's a screamer and seems to like the drama.
Hey there, sailor. What brings you here? I'm Ted Nugent, baby. Who are you?
Well, I'm Goldie Hawn. Nice to meet you. You look kinda young. Can I ask how old you are?
I'm only 20. I'm in my senior year at college, studying to get my engineering degree. How about you?
Didn't anyone ever teach you you're not supposed to ask a lady's age? I'm 29, by the way. I live alone and I have my own apartment. Did I mention I don't have a boyfriend either?
Wow, your own place, huh? Sounds like a fun place to spend weekends.
Easy there, big boy. You're gonna have to earn it.
Oh, baby. Give me your number. I haven't had a serious girlfriend in a long time, and this sounds just too good to be true.
Here you go, Mr. College Guy. Hope to hear from you soon. Dear Mom and Dad, just wanted to write you about my new girlfriend. We spend all of our free time together. I go to see her when classes are done for the day, and I usually spend my weekends at her place after our Saturday parade. And I usually spend my weekends at her place after our Saturday parade.
Yeah, I'm sure they ain't playing tiddlywinks at her place for the whole weekend either.
Bob?
Oh, come on. The kid never dated much in high school. Let him have his fun before he graduates and goes off into the real world.
Bob, did you see her? Ned sent a picture of the two of them together. She looks, old.
Yeah, she definitely looks like she's got a few miles on her. I'm sure she's shaking Ned's world up quite a bit. I'm sure she knows what she's doing, too. What does she do for a living?
Ned says here in his letter that she works full-time in a photo lab printing pictures all day. Not exactly an upwardly mobile career. You know, Bob, this story reminds me of that movie with Richard Gere and Louis Gossett Jr., the one where Deborah Winger and her pals go after Richard Gere and the officer candidates just so they can get out of their small-town lives. You know the one I'm talking about?
Love lift us up where we belong, where the eagles fly on a mountain high. Yeah, I love that movie. A great soundtrack, too.
All right, Joe Cocker. It sounds like Ned may be the officer and a gentleman in this story. And so, dear viewers, I had found my first real girlfriend.
Leechie used to pay a lot of attention to me in those days. She was always showering me with attention and affection, and told me she loved me after being together for only a few weeks. Being as experienced as I was with women in relationships, this should have been a huge red flag. But I was just smitten. I was getting what all of my fellow cadets wish they could have: a regular girlfriend with her own place where we could be alone. And it lasted a few months before the wheels started to come off the bus. Thinking back, there were some other things I should have noticed. If only someone had told me.
Well, Lucy, it's so nice to meet you and your husband. Your daughter is, experienced?
My daughter? I guess she's all right. But Cindy, let me tell you something why I got you here.
Go on.
Look, your son seems like a nice guy. He's good looking, and after today, he has an engineering degree, is an officer in the armed forces, and will probably have a good job soon. Whatever you do, don't let him marry my daughter.
Oh my goodness! That's a terrible thing to say about your daughter.
I wouldn't say it if it wasn't good advice. She's not a good person. Don't let your son marry her.
Okay, I'll probably just keep that to myself until 20 years from now when the two of them get divorced and this guidance is no longer relevant.
Huh?
Oh, it was nothing, Lucy. Just thinking out loud.
Let's film some more of this, Ned. This is some funny stuff.
Here, let me do something with the recorder. I have a message Ned will cringe at 20 years from now. Ned, oh Ned, you are gonna marry me. We're gonna get married. You just don't know it yet. And so I graduated from college and had a precious month to try and get a job and figure out what I was going to do with my life. Leechie and I decided to travel back to my parents' place in the suburbs of Chicago. I wanted to spend some time with them before I went off to the real world. At this point, things with Leechie were not going so well. Leechie, this is getting to be too much. We're arguing all the time lately. You should just go back home to New York by yourself.
But Ned, we had plans to take your parents' car on the road trip back to my place. I thought we could use that as bonding time together.
I don't know, Leechie. You irresponsibly ran up a bunch of debt on your credit cards just so we could party on the weekends. You keep your place a disaster, and we haven't had any intimate time since you came out here. This isn't going so well. Oh, Ned, just think about it. Please, think of all the hot times we've had together. I don't know, Mom. I don't think I want to be with her any longer.
Well then, Ned, you're going to have to make a clean break. Do you want to stay with this girl?
I don't think so. I think I'm just going to drive her back home, go get my things from her place, and call it quits.
You know, that's a bad idea, Ned. She should just fly back by herself so you can have some time to think about things.
I thought about it, Mom. I'm just going to take this last trip with her and call it good.
Okay, kid. It's your life. Just make sure you break up with her quickly if you're going to do it.
So, in my infinite wisdom, I decided to take the road trip with Leechie back to her house, so I could break up with her. My traveling companion had a different plan, it seems. So, Ned, I'm feeling a little frisky. I think we ought to have as much intimate time on this road trip as we can. Wow, Leechie, that sounds great. I can't wait till our next stop.
Well, I think before we stop, it would be a good time to talk about our future. There is no way I'm ever gonna live with a man ever again, not without being married first. I said a long time ago that I wouldn't live with a man ever again without a bigger commitment. And what exactly does that mean? It means that if you want me to stay with you and have a really good time on this trip, we need to get married.
I guess we'll think about that on the way. Well, I know we talked about it, so maybe we'll get married someday. For now, I really think we ought to live together first to see how it goes.
That's what you think, Ned. That's what you think.
Boy, I hope that Ned's okay. That was a long drive back. Didn't you say he was going to break up with that woman he brought out here?
Well, that's what he told me he was going to do. He seemed pretty dead set on it. He even told me he had been keeping in touch with another gal back here the whole time he was seeing Leechie, just so he'd have a backup plan.
Oh boy. I hope that kid pulls his head out of his rear. That Leechie had her meat hooks in him pretty good.
I don't think so, Bob. I know my son. He'll do the smart thing. There's no way he's gonna stay with her. No way. We need to get married. We need to get married. We need to get married.
So do you, Leechie, take this man to be your husband?
Oh, I do. I totally do. All of my dreams are coming true, and I'm finally getting out of here.
And do you, Ned, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? That is, to share in everything you ever do, to divide in half every nickel you ever earn, to need to get permission every time you want to go out with your friends. Well, do you? I'm 21 years old, have absolutely no relationship experience, my brain isn't even completely developed, so I absolutely know what I'm doing, so I do. Well, congrats, young fella. You just put a ring on it. Love, lift us up where we belong, where the eagles fly, on a mountain high.
Dad, would you stop that?
I just hope that kid knows what he's doing.